First of all, I just want to thank everybody that came out tonight or today to show appreciation to this group of seniors. The crowd was fantastic. I want to thank our seniors. I want to think back about the game and the ups and downs of the game, and obviously the severe ups and downs that happened in the last minute of the game. I think that's the way it finished is indicative of who they are and what they're about. And I think there's a group of men in that locker room that refused to let them down. They found a way to get it done. And I'm just awfully proud of them and happy for them. I wish I was a better orator. So I told them in the locker room, I wish I was a better orator, man. I wish I could craft my words in a more creative and articulate manner. But I'm just almost speechless with the effort and the toughness and the discipline the kids displayed today.
Raise your hand. What's your mic?
Considering all year you've talked about the veteran defense and that, what was it like to kind of watch that goal line stand, and also just Andrew and Greg's play in general today? Well,
first of all, Andrew and Greg, I mean, it's a couple of special kids. I guess I should say men. I mean, they just pour their heart and soul into everything they do. They're great examples to young people. They played fantastic, obviously. They're very good football players, but, you know, they're more than that. And I just can't say enough about the example they set for young people in our program and in the community. I mean, they're just incredible workers. The goal line stand was obviously special and memorable, and something we'll talk about for a long time. I'm not sure everybody understands the emotion that those players are going through when they're on top of the mountain. It's whatever it was it fourth down? It's fourth down, and the crowd's into it, and all of a sudden, the guy's running the length of the field, and you've got to find a way to get him on the ground, which we did, and live to play another play. And then you've got to regroup yourself to go play defense again. And, you know, for them to have, or not them, but for our guys to have the mental toughness to respond in a very adverse situation is something we're all proud of.
Have you ever won a game like that?
Oh, I think we've won a game in my career with a stopped two-point conversion. You know, they went for two to win the game, but I don't remember anything where you went through that swing right there and then literally made the stop on the last play of the game. That's pretty fantastic.
Justin, two sort of strategy questions. I know you had the penalty on the two-point conversion. Did you consider still going for two in that situation to try to go up 7, and then late in the game after they got down to the 1-yard line?
Yeah, I did, but I mean, I didn't feel good about us just chunking it in there, and you know, I mean, maybe I should have just tried to go for 2, backed up like that, you know, and if it had been what yard line were we on? Yeah, I mean, you know, in retrospect, maybe I should have, but I just didn't feel good. It was hard to get 8 yards today. I didn't feel great about getting it done.
The other question I had was maybe unorthodox at the end, but once they get down to the 1-yard line, did you consider saying, hey, let them score and try to get the ball back?
We have all of those things in place, you know, all of those calls. We both practice and talk about them all the time. But it's pretty hard for me to take it out of that group of men's hands. You know, that's kind of how I feel about that, Andy. Like that defensive group is pretty hard for me in that situation to take the game out of their hands.
Travis.
But it crossed my mind, yes.
Hey, Coach, I'm just wondering, can you speak to Reggie's play, chasing that play down and saving a touchdown, a great lesson, safe to say, and not giving up and not quitting?
Sure. I mean, you know, when things like that happen, you know, you just try and live to play another play, you know, try and live to make another play, and to not – nobody likes it that the guy broke out like that, but you can't stop playing. And they just continued to chase the ball and continued to bust his tail down there and found a way to get the guy down. And the rest is what it is.
Justin, you mentioned how difficult it was to get yards today, but yet you got 122 combined on 26 carries from McLeese and Holston. That's a lot better than you've been getting on the ground recently. What was the difference and how good were they today?
Well, I thought they were very good, to answer your question. Like, I really liked the way Deshaun ran with the ball. You know, we've talked about many times how he's not the biggest kid out there, but he's still a tough runner. You know, he's still got some inside skill. I thought we did a good job up front in the run game. I really did. I thought we were moving the line of scrimmage, getting the ball to the unblocked hat. We made the unblocked hat miss a couple times. We handled their movement pretty well. And then Jalen's a little bit bigger kid that plows it up in there pretty well. So I felt good. That was one of the things I felt good about when they tried to pressure us. And I'd have to look at the film, but when they tried to pressure us and we had a run called, I felt like we picked up the movement pretty well and hurt them a couple times in the run game.
Cam's touchdown wins the game and also gets a yardage record. What happened on that play and how kind of fitting is it for him to maybe score that touchdown?
Well, I think it's fantastic for all of Cam's accolades. I addressed the entire team on Friday and went through each senior individually. And, you know, the thing I'll always, you know, people remember Cam because he set records. And I'll remember Cam after practice, you know, beating the coaches up into the locker room, up into the film room to watch the film of the practice. Like, that's how I remember Cam, is his quest to play better, his quest, I won't say for perfection, but his quest to perfect his craft. And I think it's fantastic that he got the record. You know, the play in itself, was a go ball, which we had a hard time with. They did a good job, a couple things technique-wise, to take that away from us. And he went up and high-pointed it and attacked the ball and came down with it.
And Joey Slide didn't get to play today. Was that a game-time decision? Did you know that all week? Where was he?
We rested him all week. You know, wanted to see him a little bit in warm-ups, but just – when we didn't kick him all week, wanted him to get healthy, you know, just felt like going the other direction was probably the best thing, and hopefully get Joey back for next week. That was kind of the plan.
Just a couple different plays. Mike asked about the touchdown catch that Cam had. The play before that, where he plays defensive back, was that almost as big a play where he knocks the ball down and prevents a pick in the left corner there?
Well, I don't remember, David, exactly the play, but, you know, I have no doubt that happened.
Trust me, it did.
I'm not doubting your source. But, you know, I would say yes. You know, going up there and competing for balls and you know, keeping possession, you know, is incredibly important. And sometimes those little things, like you're talking about, that don't show up in the box score manifest itself in opportunities to win games.
And then, given how good Henderson is in the return game, how critical was your punt coverage and the tackles that were made almost instantly?
Huge. And to add to our concern coming into the game, we know Terrell, you know, Devine is a guy that has been, we haven't had him in some time, but he's been fantastic on our punt team. We have Noah Adonis, who's been fantastic on our punt team. So we had Quillen and Watts as kind of our you know, press players or go players down the field. And they did a good job as young players, but you kept seeing like Hulskamp and Matuapawak down there, which I thought was really fitting. But that was a huge point of emphasis. He is an incredible player, a very talented punt returner. They do a really good job with their scheme on top of it. I feel like they're a little bit like we are in our punt return game, where we mix up block with return and give some people some problems. So was a huge point of emphasis. We tried to pit it as you know, get our guys to take some pride of it as number 10 versus number 3 this week, you know, just in terms of creating some competitiveness there.
Last one, Norm. On the fake that resulted in them scoring a touchdown late in the fourth quarter there, did you think about calling timeout?
Yeah, but I felt like we were lined up, and then we had it defended. You know, I'm on the headset, you know, trying to figure out if we need to take it and trying to figure out where all their guys, you know. You know, and probably if I had it to do over again, I would have pulled the trigger on it, you know, but on the timeout. But it was like we felt like we were in good shape. You know, you're in a close game. You don't want to waste one of those. If they just shift back and kick the ball, credit to them. And, you know, we had a guy, Greg, I think, was right there. But so we were on it pretty decent.
All right, thank you, Coach.
You bet.
Andrew Matupalaka. Raise your hand, give the mic. Questions for Andrew.
Andrew, can you just first off address the emotional swing of that goal line stand? I mean, it looks like you've got the game won, then you've got to make 4 stops. What was it like to kind of get the defense rejuiced to play there?
I mean, we knew. I kept just saying to the guys, it's now or never, really. Either we make this play or, you know, they win the game. So it was real emotional, you know, when we made that stop. You know, the tears just started flowing, just because it was a hard-fought game and it was a big-time, you know, goal line stand.
Andy asked Coach if he considered letting them score to give the offense time to answer. Coach said he didn't want to take the game out of the defense's hand. I mean, it's easy to say now that you've won, but as a defensive guy, are you glad that he left it with you guys?
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm you know, proud of the guys on our side of the ball. Just you know, just stepping up to the challenge. You know, Mook went down and Khalil came in and filled in nicely and didn't skip a beat. So, you know, just guys all over the field just stepping up and playing big-time roles.
Andrew, how come after the final play you guys all ran to the other, all the way to the other end zone? Was it just reaction or?
I think I ran like to the 10-yard line and then I couldn't even run no more. I fell on my knees. It was real emotional.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some frustrations obviously the last couple of weeks. Can you articulate maybe the joy that you felt out there at the end there? And
yeah, kind of getting out of this little hole that we were in, you know, just the losing thing. And it felt good to get back to, you know, what we're used to doing, and just big time team win.
Andrew, was that a lay that you gave Fuente in the pregame? What was the significance of that?
Lays are a big part of, you know, when we have like big, you know, ceremonies or whatever like that. They're just big. That's just kind of what we do in our culture, and you know, just a sign of endearment. So.
Anybody else for Drew?
You speak to your final game at Lane Stadium, the whole day. What was it like kind of emotionally before the game, and were you worried at all that you were not distracted, but with so much going on?
Before the game started, I think I thought that I was a little distracted, just trying to control everything that was going on, and trying to control all my emotions. And you know, it was a bittersweet feeling, you know, running out of that tunnel. And I'm just glad we won. So.
You obviously snap the short losing skid with this. Can you and avoid a 3-game streak going into your rivalry game next week? How much did this kind of change the mindset going into that game? And obviously you would have been in a totally different frame of mind if you're, you know, losing 3 games in a row going to that one.
I honestly wasn't thinking about next week yet. I mean, we were just trying to win this week. I mean, you know, Coach was saying it was for the seniors, but really I just believe that it was just for this program to get back to, you know, where it belongs, you know, up at the top. And I'm just glad I'm a part of, you know, the building blocks of where this program's going to be. So, yeah.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you. We'll take the radio. Over on that side. Yeah. Go with Johnny. All right, questions for Cam.
Cam, you were kind of hard on yourself this week about not making plays on 50-50 passes. How gratifying was it to make that play at the end when you made it?
Oh, it was really gratifying. It's just, you know, I really thought I, you know, let the team down. You know, Josh said he blamed himself for the loss. Well, I thought it was my fault for the Georgia Tech loss. But, I just felt I owed it to the team, to myself to make those plays, when put in those situations. And, so I had to focus up a little bit extra. And he threw it. I had to fight for it and go up and get it, and I made a good play.
Did you know that you passed Isaiah on the receiving list with that catch?
No.
I was curious if you had a reaction to that, to actually breaking the record on that particular play.
What record?
Receiving yards record.
Oh, I didn't know that. No, I didn't know. But that's pretty cool.
Mike?
I'm curious, the goal line stand, where are you on the sideline, and what are you thinking as you're watching the defense make those stops?
Actually, when they called the timeout, I think the play after the big catch and run, I ran down to the defensive huddle and was just like, watch the, they like to tackle reverse. I think that guy's pretty athletic. I was like, watch the tackle reverse, watch the slip to the flats, watch, all that stuff. And then and I just went down to the other side and so I could see everything and just be by myself. But I was definitely cheering those guys on because, for me, senior day is all about winning. I don't really care too much about the accolades or the, coming out of the tunnel last time unless we win the game. That's what makes it all sweet, and we did that. And, it was really a big team effort today on special teams, offense and defense.
Is it a little extra special to be the guy who catches the game winner on senior day to deliver that win?
I guess it's kind of cool. It's just like I expect that stuff from myself. So, like, I don't think I should get props or, think too much of it when I feel that's what I'm supposed to do.
Cam, on the play before the touchdown, it looked like you were playing cornerback and breaking up the pass.
Yeah.
I think it was 14 was right there in position to intercept. What are you seeing on that play, and is that what you were doing?
Yeah, I mean, anytime the defender has, great position, I'm trying to fight for the ball, but, if I feel he still has a little bit better position, then, as a wideout, you're taught don't let him catch it, especially we were down, I think, 13-14. Yeah, we were down, so, it's a big drive, fourth quarter. It's like they can't get the ball back, so just do everything you can to make sure if I can't get it, then nobody can.
Thank you, Cam. Bud's up next.
It's a little better, but it's still. Oh, me, oh, my. That's all I got to say about that.
But down on the field, when you saw Whit Babcock, you made the remark, that just took about 2 years off my life. What were those last few plays like?
Oh, man.
Starting with the fourth down.
Well, just incredible effort by our kids, number one. Obviously, give Pitt credit. They fought their tail off to the end. They made a nice play on a shovel pass. We didn't execute it very well. It set up their score to go ahead. And then, the missed tackle at the end, that almost was a touchdown. But I'll say this, the play of the game was Reggie Floyd not giving up on that play. And we talk to our kids every day about finishing, and today was a big part of it. And every blade of grass is critical, and it was in that play right there. I mean, you talk about a big-time effort. And I know when I look at the film, I know Timmy Settle and Ricky Walker and Tremaine Edmonds and Andrew Matuapawaka, I know those guys are going to be playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage, but the play of the game was that play and giving us a chance to go finish it. And I just told Andrew, I said, and so these seniors, you remember your last home game, it seems like, more than any game in the past. And that'll be one that'll be they'll tell stories about this one for years, and deservedly so. But couldn't be more proud of our senior class. Just a special group.
Coach Fuente was asked about the possibility of letting them score to give the offense time to answer. As the defensive coordinator, were you involved at all in that?
No, he didn't say anything to me about that. He just, thank God, but No, I mean, no, he didn't. I mean, like I said, it's just tremendous effort by Reggie, tremendous effort by our kids, and you know, it's just a great way to finish a ball game. It really is. I mean, it's I guess other than the stomach ache that you're experiencing at the moment and the stress level you're feeling at the moment, it's probably, as a defensive guy, you couldn't ask for a better ending to a story or a game, you know, and so pretty cool.
Have you had another one like this?
Not myself. I know I was a part of one when we beat West Virginia. You guys, some of you guys weren't even born probably then, or if you were, you're very young. We beat Major Harris and up at Morgantown on a goal line stand at the end of the game, and I can't remember exactly what year, 88, 89, somewhere in that range. I was just the linebacker coach at the time, but you know, just a tremendous effort, and just tremendous way, fitting for our kids, and particularly our defensive kids that don't like it that way, but just a tremendous effort.
Ricky?
Considering how the game was going, that pick by Stroman there, how critical was that to really just kickstart you guys and give you guys some life, it seemed?
Well, it was. I mean, yeah, we were struggling a little bit, and you know, offensively, and yeah, jump started and gave us a chance to, you know, put the ball in position to go score. And any time you can change the momentum, I thought Pitt had a little. They scored. They thought they had a little momentum going, and obviously that was a big play in the game as well. And you know, Stroh comes to work every day. My hat's off to him. He's just he's one of the most competitive guys that we've had in our program. I mean, he's not the biggest guy, but comes to work every day. You know, this year was a year he's been beat up a little bit between a foot, between a hamstring, but just comes and fights and competes and works at it every day, and it shows the result of his play.
Aaron?
Were you part of that flock after the final play that ran all the way to the other side of the field?
I don't even know what I did. I think I took my headset off and just flung it, and I hope I didn't hit anybody. If I do, I apologize, Whit. I hope we don't get a call. I don't know where that ended up. I guess I'll pay for it if I need to, but the headset, that is. But no, I tell you what, it's just a moment of you know, jubilation. Really, who I was looking for was our seniors. You know, I was looking for you know, Andrew or, you know, or Faison or some of those guys like that, you know, just want to hug their neck.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you know, since the West Virginia game, it's been either you guys are blowing people out or you're on the wrong end of it. You know, I mean, to win a close game in this fashion and to see those guys get to let loose, you know, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Well, these guys put a lot into it. And y'all just see us on Saturday. You don't, and some of you are there during the, you know, at times during practice here and there. But you don't see us at 5:30 in the morning in January, or see us at 5:30 in the morning, you know, in March, or those type of things, and see what these kids put into this thing. And that's, you know, the hard work and the belief in one another, the caring in one another, you know, that's showed today, and that's pretty cool.
Last one, Andy.
Looks like Ladler was in a couple tackles in that last sequence there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mook playing new position, Newsome, Chigaga, new roles. How do you feel like that worked with Terrell out today?
Well, you know, I think Mook was solid. I know he'd like to have that last play back that he got hurt and when he missed the tackle, but I thought he was solid in a role that really that ties him up a little bit more than what that nickel or whip position does. He's a little bit more of a free hitter. Not that he's a freelancer, but his instincts can take over a little bit in that position where he's our free hit guy. And he had to be a little bit more disciplined with his eyes and his technique and fundamentals and those type of things. And but you know, for a guy. We're always talking to our kids, you're a play away from being the next guy. And, you know, my hat's off to a guy like Khalil Ladler, who had to step up when the game was on the line and came out and executed. And goes back to a guy like Dion Newsome. I know Dion would probably like to have, you know, that first one of those early series back, but settled in and I thought played really, really well. And that's part of the game. You get some guys hurt, and you know the next guy's got to step in. But we expect them to step in and perform, not just step in and be a part of it. We expect them to perform. So I'm sure I'll look back at that, and those guys, you know, probably did step up, and you know, and that's what we need to do. So.
Thank you, Coach. Greg Stroman up next.
Thank y'all.
Raise your hand. We'll get Chip. Mike, questions for Greg?
Greg, what kind of a release was it after that final stop, just to, have a win and a close game and all that?
I mean, it just felt great. I mean, I don't know, emotions just hit me, and I just took off running. I don't know how to explain it, but it felt great. I made it all the way, me and Cam. Mm-hmm.
Greg, on the third down on the goal line stand, were you guys anticipating pass there, or did that catch you a little bit by surprise?
No, I don't really think we were anticipating pass. Each play we were just everybody be ready to do their responsibility, and I was kind of late getting out there because the ball was kind of got delayed getting spotted. But everybody just played their position, and that's what happened.
For us watching in the box or in the stands, it's exciting finish to a game. What's it like to be on the defense where any mistake in those 4 plays costs you guys the game?
That's what we hang our hat on. Just finishing. And my hat's off to Reggie Floyd for running the guy down and making the tackle and giving us a chance. As long as we have a chance, we knew we would be okay, and we just came together and just made plays, made 4 plays, and that's what we needed.
Greg, after that third down where you kind of knocked it away, it looked like you shot up or were kind of celebrating. Did you think the game was over at that point? Do you know there was still 3 seconds?
Oh, yeah, I saw the clock, but we were definitely confident that it's 4th down. That's just time to go.
What did you see on that pick that you had?
It was just 2 guys were kind of coming out. One was flat, and then one was over the top. Mook had him inside leverage, and the quarterback just made a throw, and it was kind of on the line, and I was able to jump up and get it.
Anybody else for Greg? All right. Thank you, G. Josh Jackson, raise your hand. Questions for Josh?
Coach Fuente talked about how getting even just 8 yards today was really rough, and it was hard going on offense. What did they do on the defensive end that made it such a rough go for you guys?
Especially the corners played us outside leverage the whole game, so our fades weren't really there the whole game. So that kind of takes a little bit of our offense away from us. I think we ran the ball well though, and there was a couple passes I missed, like to Phil when he was wide open. I'll kick myself for that one for a while, but I think. We had a great first drive, but after that we kind of stalled. But at the end of the day, we ended up getting the score and win the game. So,
questions for Josh?
Obviously, you guys were really struggling, and then Stroman gets that interception, gets you guys in good field position. You go down and you throw the pass to Cam. How critical was that interception, not just in terms of the game and field position, but just in terms of your mindset and giving you guys confidence?
I think that helped the momentum for the game a lot, especially with being a big return and everything like that. And then we just took some shots and got in the end zone. Cam made a great catch on what really wasn't that good of a ball. So, but it's a touchdown. So, yeah.
I was going to ask about that touchdown pass. It looked like there were a couple guys in the neighborhood there. What did you see down the field?
Well, we tried to throw a post backside, but the safety stayed. So it's one-on-one with Cam. It was just kind of tight, I guess, because I think we were in the middle of the field. I just kind of threw it up to him. So, and because they're outside leverage, he had to come under him and catch it. So, but yeah, he made a great play on it.
Anybody else? Aaron.
Josh, where'd you go after that final stop? Did you run over there too, or?
I saw everybody running down. I don't know why, but so I kind of just followed them, and then I saw Gallo, and he was crying and everything, and I just jumped on him, and it was a cool little moment. So.
Since the West Virginia game, you guys are either killing people or kind of losing, frustrating games. To win a game that was close and down to the wire like that, how much of a release was it for you guys?
I don't know if it was a release or a relief, but it was just kind of an awesome moment, for Reggie to go down and catch the guy, and then we have a stand and stop him and win the game. I think that's pretty awesome. So I think it's really big for our team, and, I think that'll give us momentum going into next week.
Mike?
What are you thinking? Where are you during that goal line stand? Are you standing there watching? Do you close your eyes? What's your
what was I doing? I don't like it when I'm not in control, so that was a little rough for me. So I was kind of just on the bench looking at the big screen and everything like that. And then once I saw we stopped them, I just ran. It was a little crazy, but it was a good time. So.
Josh, how do you kind of assess yourself today? I mean, you personally had a day that was up and down and all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, you were 2 for 11 during one stretch, but then you lead, game-winning touchdown drive at the end. And I mean, is it sort of a chance for you to kind of go back and assess and look at some mistakes? And like you said, the corners made it difficult for you today. It wasn't like it was an easy day for you or anything. I mean, what do you think of your own play?
I don't think I played very good, but I mean we won, so I don't really care. But there's obviously the pass I missed Phil on that had me pretty upset for more than it should have. But yeah, I mean, just our fade ball, like they kind of took it away from us. So they kind of messes our offense up when we get that press coverage. We're going to throw it every time. And then that's what happened with the pick to when I threw it to Savoy. I thought he was going outside, and then he went inside on me. And, I just threw it pretty much right to the corner. So I don't think I played very well, but, I mean, at the end of the day, we won. So it's whatever.
You mentioned the pass to Phil. Somewhat similar anyway. Early on, you had a pass to Savoy.
Yeah.
You kind of threw it directly behind him.
Yeah, Savoy. That was like a RPO, and I was just kind of waiting for him. So I just let it go before he even was looking at me. And that's a new play. You got to work on our timing, I guess, with that. But the one to Phil was just that was bad. So.
Last one, Mike.
I know you mentioned this last week about putting some of the blame on yourself. Cam felt the same way. How did Cam respond in practice this week, and how frustrated or motivated was he after Georgia Tech going into this one?
I'd say he was real motivated, but that's kind of how he always is. Like, that's kind of Cam. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. And then for him to not get the game winner last week and then to get it this week is pretty big time, I'd say. So I wish we would have gone 2 for 2, but I think he had a great week of practice, and then at 8 for 117 is a pretty good game. So. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Josh. Richard Floyd up next.
Reggie, did you, when you're running down that play, are you running it down just because that's what you were taught to do, or did you think there was a chance that you were going to be able to catch him?
Both. I knew I had to catch him. I just couldn't picture our scenes going out like that. Seconds left on a touchdown and game over at their own house. So it was just, honestly, it was just instincts, having to chase him down and get him down before he got in the end zone.
He looked like he might have slowed down a little at the end. Did you see that, and do you think he knew you were bearing down on him?
Yeah, he was looking back, but I think all the fuel in his tank was getting low, so I had to keep up and get him down before he got in the end zone again.
Questions for Reggie?
I know Mook was playing free safety today, which he doesn't always do, and I know that he's dealing with a little bit of a lingering injury. Deion's playing whip. Did you have to shoulder any extra load today that you maybe normally do in terms of coverage and responsibilities?
No, I wouldn't say I had any extra. Like you said, it was new to them, but also they've been prepping the whole season for this, so it was just more of just being able to have your eyes in the right place and just communication. I think it worked out pretty good. Had a couple of mistakes, but we got over it.
Reggie, I think you were in on that very last play too, right? In on that tackle. What did you see on that play, and what happened after you made that stop? How did you celebrate?
After the stop, it was, at first I thought he had gotten the end zone, so it was kind of heartbreaking. Then they reviewed and said he was short, so I just knew Nasty D had to come out and just stop it again. So the last play, just the whole offensive line, it was down blocking towards the field. So I just shot the gap, and then you had Drew, Maine, basically the whole entire defense over there, and it was a stop. Game was over.
What did you do after that?
I ran all the way down the field. Just kept running, screaming.
Do you know why?
Nah, I was just excited, yeah. It was a big win for us.
How much praise have you gotten in the locker room after chasing that guy down?
I haven't been to the locker room yet. Nah, but everybody's telling me it was a good play, but it's something that is expected, so it's nothing new.
Anybody else for Reggie? Mike?
Coach was asked about the idea of giving up the touchdown there so the offense could have time to score. As a defensive guy, how glad are you that he chose to kind of leave it in your hands?
I'm very glad. I knew we could do it. And he knew that we could do it also because he didn't make that call. So as long as he trusts us, we trust him. And it worked out for us.
It's obviously very exciting for us to watch or the fans to watch. to be on the field for 4 snaps where any one of them could cost you the game, what's that like emotionally?
I mean, I like it. I like when it's all on us, the pressure, the fans screaming, and then it's just something you dream about as a kid also, just watching games and like that. So it was honestly fun, actually. So, yeah.
Considering how these last few weeks have gone, you guys lost 2 in a row, and then you give up that big play there. Your backs are against the wall on 4th down. The way that this game ended, the way you guys were able to hold on and win, how big is this for you in terms of getting your mindset right and building some momentum heading into Virginia?
It was very big. Of course, that's a rival game, so we're going to be pumped for it, regardless of if it was a win or lose. But having a win and knocking that 2-game losing streak off, it was really good for us. We needed it.
You feel like that goal line stand kind of saved your season? I mean, if you'd lost that game, it would have been 3 in a row going into Virginia. Did that stand save your season?
Yeah, I guess you could say saved it. If he got in, it would have been, of course, very disappointing. But like we stopped him, so it was a game changer. I'll say that it saved everything, especially for our seniors.
All right, thank you, Reggie. Johnny's going to get you on the radio real quick. Reminder,